Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about one of the extremely pervasive myths, and I covered it a little while back, not long ago, when it comes to like the squat and the deadlift. And that's this idea that weight training is going to make your waist thick and blocky and big, and it's going to destroy the aesthetics of guys who want the little tiny waist. And the reality is, guys, that's just simply not true. It's not true. It's not based on reality. And the muscles around your waistline are just generally not thick enough to start with to significantly increase the size of your waist. I mean, it would be very difficult to do so. And the problem we run into there is that by not doing so and not training all these areas, you're actually predisposing yourself to injury. And I don't just mean injuries when you squat and deadlift. I mean injuries when you push or pull things, when you get into something in real life. So a guy who has not developed the muscles around his waistline is not going to be athletic. They're not going to be functional. Furthermore, a lot of the guys who you see who have the little tiny waist, who have a small hip structure, all these things, that's genetic. Right? They don't have that because they didn't train those areas. That's not why. That's genetic. And the point I raised before, when you look at waist size, and as far as strength versus waist size go, look at someone like Ben Pollock. Talk about a guy who squats and deadlifts over 700 pounds. Competes in the the 198. He's peeled with a tiny waist. The guy is just absolutely shredded, tiny little waist. Now, does anyone out there think that Ben Pollock doesn't train his entire core all the time? Does anyone out there honestly think that a person could have any chance at all of getting anywhere near a 700, let alone an 800-pound squat or deadlift without completely maximizing the hypertrophy and strength of their entire core? Abs, obliques, erectors, everything. Do you think that's even possible? No, it's not even remotely possible. It's not even remotely possible to approach those numbers without maximizing. I mean, absolutely maximizing, getting those areas as big as you possibly can. Size there is genetic, largely. There are other factors that we can get to, but it's genetic. You can't change that. Now, some people say, well, this person or that person, their waistline did grow even when they're leaner, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably fat. Like in my case, I lost 100 pounds of body fat. I'm still not super lean by any stretch of the imagination, and I have a lot of loose skin that hangs around that area. Till I get leaner, that'll probably stay that way. But that's not my muscle tissue. That's not muscle. Now, as far as my bone structure goes, I have a big pelvis. Okay? So then we get over to the genetic end. Yeah, that's genetic. You can't change that. You can't change that. It's a structure that you pretty much are born with that grows as you grow up. So those factors are all there, but it's bone or fat that you're seeing for the most part. Then we'll come over to the other point. People will say, well, what about drugs? What about diet? Yeah, that's all fat. The difference is that fat's inside, under the abs, around the organs, not under the skin. That's a big factor. What a lot of people need to understand is that not everyone who's ripped and who trains is healthy. Okay, it's possible to be 10% body fat and have enormous amounts of visceral fat around your organs. I'm talking a gallon. It's about 7 pounds. 7 pounds of fat is about 1 gallon. Well, if you have a gallon of extra fat floating around your abdomen inside, it's going to make your waistline look thicker and blockier because it's going to push the whole abdominal wall out. Okay, but that's not muscle, that's fat. That's fat. It's just on the inside. And that's the worst kind of fat to have. So when you see any bodybuilder who has a little bit of the bubble gut, and I don't mean just the massive ones you see, I'm talking in general, there's some other lifestyle factors that are going on that are a problem. They have created some sort of insulin resistance in their body with various substances they put into it. I can tell you what's at the top of the list. Growth hormone, IGF-1, insulin. Hey, if you care about your health, you don't use those substances. Yes, I'm talking even the HGH for longevity. Okay, that's nonsense. And when we look at the things like MK677, which is an HGH secretagogue, look at the blood work we've seen for people who use that stuff. Both people I've known, people on forums, and you saw the whole Sarmageddon thing. Look what his blood work looked like. Tripled his fasting insulin levels. Okay, that's how you get insulin resistance. Insulin resistance will give you that look that you're worried about having. Right? And people oftentimes use those substances because they're supposed to help with body composition. They're supposed to help you burn body fat off while retaining muscle. Well, except that they make you store fat around your organs. Right? Even if they help with subcutaneous stuff, they still store fat around the organs, creating insulin resistance. Basically making yourself into a pre-diabetic. So, it's a real problem. We come over to diet. How about some of the guys who still have that larger waistline when they diet down relatively lean, who maybe follow the whole flexible dieting and if it fits your macros thing? There's a big one. Junk food increases insulin resistance. When I mean junk food, you guys know what I mean. I don't want to hear these stupid arguments. Well, you can't define that. Yeah, we can define that. Anything with refined fructose in it. Eating large amounts of damaged fats. All right, this isn't hard to define. And you really are the guys who say that, well, you can't define a good or a bad food like that. Yeah, we absolutely can. Okay, don't be an idiot. We know that excessive fructose intake causes fatty liver. Notice I said excessive, but how many guys out there who are lifting are hitting that excessive amount because they eat Pop-Tarts and ice cream and work it into their macros? Start adding your fructose up. A lot of you guys, because of your calorie need, you're going to find that fructose intake is real high. Now that, over time, could contribute more to a blockier waistline because of visceral fat accumulation. That could contribute way more than any training ever could. So that's another thing to think about. If you really and truly care about your waistline, you're going to drop the whole flexible dieting thing. And I'm not talking about a one-off. I'm talking about once a week. I'm not talking about eating some junk food once every 3 weeks. I'm talking about the people who work it in every day and end up exceeding 50 grams of fructose a day. You're predisposing yourself to that, even if you train. And I know that even from, again, talking to DEXA scan technicians and stuff. They note that in their people. And that's one of the things that they were surprised with me, was that even when my body fat was higher, my visceral fat was very, very low. Which actually proves something I've told people all along. When I get fat, it's because I eat a lot. I have an insane appetite. I'll eat too much. Doesn't mean I'm eating junk food. I actually don't sit around eating pizza and burgers or sugary stuff. I don't eat stuff like that. I can eat enough chicken and brown rice to gain 20 pounds of fat. I have no problem doing that on chicken and rice with no sugars or any junk food. It's a non-issue. I can eat. But they noted that even when I was at 23% body fat, my visceral fat was low. And when I dropped to 17% body fat on a DEXA scan, my visceral fat was almost non-existent. Like the amount of fat around my organs was something in the range of about the size of your thumb. all of it accumulated together. If you were to pull it together, because it's spread around through the organs, it was a couple of ounces. Diet matters there. It matters a lot. Not just calories in, calories out at that point. Calories in, calories out will determine your total fat. That's absolutely true. Where you store it, it's going to be diet quality. And I don't mean like you can pick your legs versus your chest. I'm talking under your skin versus around your organs. Okay, diet quality absolutely impacts that. So here's what I would say. The guys who really and truly care about their waistline getting too big, well, number one, it's mostly genetic. Number two, avoid certain illicit substances. Eat a good, clean diet. Don't eat a bunch of refined sugars and junk food, whether you're bulking or cutting. And that's the best things you could possibly do for it. And then go ahead and train heavy and develop that area. You're not going to develop it so much that it adds 1.5 inches to your waistline. Okay, that's not going to happen. And I've given you guys examples. You've seen examples of people. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.